Do you see it? So yeah, I'm trying to make sure the content's correct. I'm fixing it. Since we're on live, okay, just want to make sure. Cool. Nav. There we go. We're fine. Cool. Wait, some people get in here. There you go. I just hope you can see this tonight. Oh, I was looking up this person. He was famous in history. His name is William Coxshaw. He was in 37th Regiment Infantry in Wisconsin, and he stood holding one of the beams at the hanging of Abraham Lincoln's murderers, and he was shot and missing one finger. So I want to read that story too. He did a lot of things. His name comes up with a lot of things. He began private and ranked corporal really fast. So yeah, I'll read that in history. He did have four, so yeah, we had four. I just saw it. We had four. Worth watching. I'll get to. I'll wait till 6:45 and we'll start. Get time people come in. Hmm. So then, all right, let's see. And Central. Honey, Richard, Tom, George, George. Okay. Yeah, which one? Which one? Okay, so 641. Mm. High is 84 here. It's, it's like cloudy. Yeah, so. Mm. Hey, Gibbo. Hey, Gibbo. How you doing? What's going on, Gibbo? All right, we'll go ahead and start. Civil War people, Civil War places, Civil War things, Civil War ideas, Civil War events, odds and ends, and famous government muck frogs. Who was the president of the Confederacy? I should know is that one would be the easiest. Who was the president of the Confederacy? Jason, you should know that. Huh? Who was the president of the Confederacy? Confederacy. He was the Union president. So who was the Confederacy? Remember, there's two presidents during the Civil War. This presidency was on the Confederate side. Ah, it is. Yeah. Yep, Jefferson Davis. That's correct. 'Cause that's the easiest question ever to know. All right. Question two. The first shot of the Civil of the War were fired here. The first shot of the war were fired here. It was a military base. I'll give you the hint. It's a 'cause it was a military base. Because there were that's another thing you should hear. I don't remember some of this because Abraham Lincoln, um, Fort Sumter, because he did something to see if I think it was they trying to send some food, and they didn't. They fired upon. So yeah, Fort Sumter. Civil things. The universe of the uniforms of the Union and Confederate were these two colors. Which is which? Mm-hmm. Think of the TV show. Uh, there was a series of TV shows of, the colors. Right. So, what are blue? Yeah, yeah. The blue and the gray. The gray came from the Point West. That's where the color gray came from. Point West. Ideas. Ownership of the human beings. It was the primary cause of the Civil War. Ownership of the human beings. It was the primary cause of the Civil War. This is not a true. This is not a true and false question. They fought over humans. It was because of the slavery. Ownership of human beings. It was the primary cause of the Civil War. It was slave. Hmm. Yeah, slavery. Would you tell your grandma what somebody's doing? Did you tell your grandma what somebody is doing to me? Mm. Civil War events. South Carolina became the first state to do this in December 1860. South Carolina became the first state to do this in December 1860. I think it was the first state become Confederate. Yeah, I think that Confederate. Ain't your show at 8 o'clock, Frank Gillo? I think Gimbo's show's on at 8 o'clock. Um, so let's see here. What is secession? That's what it is. Question: what is secession in 1860? All right. Odds and ends. The war began in this year. The war began in this year. What year did the war begin? The Civil War? We're doing Civil War questions. No, this is all Civil War. Okay. And the answer is 1861. Yes. The government. Who is this famous person? Who is this famous person? I know who he is. He was a general and became president. Yep. Ulysses S. Grant. Yes. Yep. General Grant. Ulysses S. Grant. Yep. All right. Famous Muppet frogs. On the standard color wheel, what color is opposite of blue? On the standard color wheel, what is the color? It's opposite of blue. What's the opposite of blue? Pick a color. What do you think? What's the opposite of blue? Yeah, what's the opposite of blue? Here's a guess. The famous Muppet frogs for 100. So what famous Muppet frogs? So what's the opposite of blue? Orange. So opposite of blue is orange. All right. Civil War people. Slavery couldn't. Slavery can't. Must not move west, but keeping the Union intact is most important. This is a view of what party? Slavery cannot, must not move west, but keeping the Union intact is most important. This is a view of what party? Oh, this one I don't know. I would say the Republican Party. I would say slavery cannot, must not move west, but keeping the Union intact is the most important. This is a view of what party? All right, well, it's the Republican Party. Remember, Abraham Lincoln's Republic. So that's why I said I think it's the Republican Party that's kept the Union intact. All right, some more places. The first major battle of the war was fought here and won for the South. Stonewall gained his name here. First major battle of the war was fought here and won for the South. Stonewall gains his name here. I know the battle. I can't think of the name. Yeah, I know the battle, but I can't think of the name. What was it? I think it's in the battle. Having somewhere, yeah, I think Bull Run or well, there's another one um, between Tennessee and Georgia. I can't think of the name. I think there's that one and the other one name. Bull Run, Battle of Bull Run. All right, Battle of Bull Run. Civil War things. What was the battle in the Civil War that was a big turning point towards winning for the North? What was the battle in the Civil War that was a big turning point towards winning for the North? I think because I think Abraham Lincoln got General Grant took over. Yeah, I think General Grant was one who got the battle turned around. Let's see here. Let's see, General Grant or Battlefield. Battle of Gettysburg. So that's where the turnaround towards winning for the North. The Battle of Gettysburg. All right. Civil War ideas. A part of the Anaconda plan that prevent the Confederacy from trading. A part of the Anaconda plan that prevented the Confederacy from trading. I don't know on that one. That's a new one for me. Um, yeah, that's a little. I don't know what this is. Anaconda. All right, we'll find out. All right, let's find out. Barricade. The Anaconda plan that prevented the Confederacy from trading. The barricade. That's what it was. The barricade. Huh. Okay. Where was the barricade at? I wonder. Hmm. All right. Civil War events. The battle gave control of the Mississippi River to the Union. This battle gave control of this Mississippi River to the Union. This battle gave control of the Mississippi River to the Union. No, um, no. This is totally different. All right, let's okay, reveal the Battle of Vicksburg. Yeah, the Battle of Vicksburg. That's what it was. The Battle of odds and ends. Forcing people into military service. Forcing people into military service. That's the um, oh, I can't I can't think of the name, but I don't know what it is. The yeah, that's it. All right, the draft. Yes, correct. Couldn't think of it, but yeah. Which branch of the government makes the law? Congress. Legislative branch. The legislative branch does. Hmm. All right. Famous Muppet frogs. Which president signed the legislation to create the Secret Service? Which president signed the legislation to create the Secret Service? I think it was Grant, because when he became president, when he heard, um, no, those were United States Marshals. He had. All right, Abraham Lincoln. Okay. All right. So war people removed from the command for failing to pursue Lee's army after the Battle of Antietam. He replaced McDowell and actually ran against Lincoln in 1864. That's General Grant. Oh no, yeah, General Grant replaced McDowell. General B. McClellan. Oh yeah, yep, that's General got replaced. General B. McClellan, because Abraham Lincoln wanted Grant, and he beat his ass up, beat the Lee's group really good. The bloodiest battle of the Civil War, 3 days battle in Pennsylvania, in July 1863. Of course, that's Battle of Gettysburg. Um, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law out there, his family said he could have saw the battle all the way from Yorktown, Pennsylvania. The flashing of the cannons and stuff. They can hear it all the way from York, Pennsylvania, and saw the flashes. So it was Gettysburg. All right, war things. The capital city of the Confederate state. The capital city of the Confederate state. I'll say, I'm thinking it was Georgia. Georgia was underneath the Confederate states. I think it was Georgia. No, Richmond, Virginia. There's a lot of things I know in Georgia that happened. Uh, Richmond, Virginia. Okay. Civil War ideas. This declares slaves in a rebellion state to be free in effect to deprive the Confederacy of its workforce. This declares slaves in rebellion states to be free in effect to deprive the Confederacy of its workforce. Sign up for to sign up for battle. They will be free. I think I think that's what it is. Slaves join the Union. And not yeah, freedom when Lincoln yeah, it's up there. Emancipation. All right. Civil events. Lincoln was the first candidate of what party to win 1860 election? What political party? Republican. He was a Republican. Lincoln was the first candidate of what party to win the 1860 election? What politic party? Uh, Republican. There you go. Got it right. Odds and ends. In April 1866, Congress passed this bill, which gave African American citizenship, give the United States government the right to protect the rights of the freedom. The name given free slaves and women, but Congress worried that this act could be overturned by the Supreme Court. Same thing. The Amendment 13. All right, it was the Civil Rights Act. Government. Which branch makes sure that the laws that have been passed are constitutional and fair to the people? I think it's the legislative branch. I think the legislation branch. It is judicial branch. All right, famous Muppet frogs. What does Charlie Brown set out to do in the made for TV special A Charlie Brown Christmas blank? What does Charlie Brown set out to do in the made for TV special A Charlie Brown Christmas blank? Hmm. Haven't seen that. Seen these for a long time. I know. I know Charlie Brown the Great Pumpkin Patch, but Charlie Brown Great Christmas Patch. Um. Hmm. I don't know. Find the true meaning of Christmas. Finding the true meaning of Christmas. Yeah, find the true meaning of Christmas. All right, Civil War people. Dred Scott's decision. Huh? Dred Scott decision. Oh, I don't know about this one. Dred Scott. I don't know either. I don't know. I'll just go ahead. Slaves could not be citizens. Hmm? I have to look that one up. Dred Scott decision. Slaves can't be citizens. Okay. That was the Dred Scott decision. Which battle was fought in southwest Tennessee? Antietam. That's Antietam. No, Shiloh. That's Shiloh. Okay. I know Shiloh was somewhere, but I didn't think. I would think Antietam, so that it's on the south of the corner of Arkansas and Tennessee. Where did Lee surrender to Grant at Grant at 1865? Oh, I can think of the name. I can see it. He's in that house. The guy moved from a war, and he moved there and came to his place. Um, and he surrendered at that place. I can see it. I can't think of the name, but I know exactly where it is. All right, Appomattox Courthouse. Yeah, Appomattox Courthouse. That's where it was. All right, so where it is. The idea that people should have the right to decide whether to be slave or free state. The idea that people should have the right to decide whether to be free, to be a slave or a free state. Yes, they have the right to be a free slave. All right, let's see here. Popularity, uh, uh, territory. It's hard. My tongue not working very well. Uh, my tongue's not working very well for some reason. Damn it! It's like you're falling asleep. All right, yeah. Popular Cerate. That's yeah, second cough. Some bitch. All right, Civil War event. Battle in 1862, in which Lee invaded Maryland and bloodiest one of the day. Battle in 1862, which Lee invaded Maryland in the bloodiest one-day battle. Uh, yeah, what was the bloodiest one-day battle in Maryland? Oh, Shiloh? No, he teams up. Shiloh is somewhere. A battle of Shiloh is somewhere. Antietam. Well, it was Antietam. All right. Odds and ends. Congress passed this amendment in June 1866 because they feared that the Civil Rights Act might be turned over. This gave African Americans citizenship. It also required that no state deny any person the quality protection of the law. What is the 14th Amendment to the Constitution? You, any idea? Yeah, Abraham did some. It's to make he made sure that African people be free. Uh, yeah, I'll also find out. The 14th Amendment is the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Well, shit, that was it's the same ending of the question. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Okay, who's this person? Who's this person? He's Robert Lee, General Lee, General Robert Lee. All right. Which mythological creature is half eagle and half lion? Yeah. Which mythological creature is half eagle and half lion? I think so. I think it'd be the griffin. Let's see here. Yeah, the griffin. Correct. All right. Civil War. Union General must most famous known for his March to the Sea. The Union General most famously known for his March to the Sea. I don't know about that one. Oh, Flagging. I don't know. We'll find out. Yep, William Sherman. He marched through the Atlanta, burned down Atlanta. Slave states that remains in the Union. Slave states that remain in the Union. So hold on. Border states. The border states. That's what they're called. Border states. So it doesn't say what. Okay, this act strengthened a previous law and effectively made all people slave catchers. Yeah. Well, we will it here. The Fugitive Slave Act. Yeah, Fugitive Slave Act. Yeah. All right. The next question. North Carolina. I don't know. It's just been how like yeah. Well, hmm. North Carolina. We think about North Carolina. Question in North Carolina. What happened in North Carolina? What is the first state to be succeeded? Yeah, what is the first state to be succeeded? Like, okay, next question. Name two things that had been destroyed from the Civil War in the South. Oh, Atlanta, Georgia, burning down Atlanta, Georgia. That's one of. And the Battle of Richmond. That's what the two I think of. Name two things that had been destroyed from the Civil War in the South: the Battle of Richmond and Atlanta. What do you think of your two? All right. Well, let's see here. Railroads, industries, homes, and farms. They're- all right. Odds and ends. This amendment ended slavery. Now, probably so. Yeah. Well, think of how many of these courthouses burned during the Civil War. Not during the Revolution War. Look how many properties burned down in the Revolution War where the British came in. Okay, this amendment ended slavery. 13th Amendment. I think it's the 13th Amendment. That's supposed to end slavery. Okay, let's get caught up here. 13th Amendment. Yep, 13th Amendment. Government. Missouri was admitted as a slave state and Maine as a free state in this agreement. I don't know that one. Oh, okay. Let's see. What is it? What is the Missouri compromise? Compromise. Yeah. Yeah. What's wrong with my tongue tonight? All right. Let's make this the last question. How many feet makes a mile? So how many feet makes a mile? All right. 5,280. Correct. All right. So that's it. We got it all up to 500 questions and game's over with. Those who been popping in and out, thanks for coming.